If you're struggling to make cold calls or cool calls, in this video I'm going to show you how to confidently navigate them by breaking the pattern, using a commercial, and then booking an appointment. So you can turn those first calls into confident conversations, land more meetings, close more business, make more money. Hi and welcome to our YouTube tribe. I'm Carlos. I'm the founder of Sandler Training in Miami, and I've helped countless businesses maximize their sales efforts and crush their quotas. Today, we're taking a real hard look at some proven cold calling techniques to help you set those meetings, to help you get control of your calls. Everything in business, and I mean everything, happens downstream from a lead you generated. Everything. I can already hear the shouts. Carlos, cold calling? Really? Yes, really. Precisely because it feels so hard. It seems so unlikely, right? Because of that, your competition won't commit to it because it's hard and unlikely. They don't commit to it, not consistently anyway. And that's nuts. What an opening for you guys, you clever sellers. Because it's the most intimate, personalized, scaled approach you can make. Cold calling can become your competitive advantage. And I know I'm pushing my luck here, guys. This is the golden age of cold. I have clients making literally millions of dollars in commissions from stone cold calls. Cold calling isn't dead, guys. Bad cold calling is dead. I'm not even sure bad cold calling was ever alive. But good cold calling? It's a Willy Wonka golden ticket to the chocolate factory. Hey, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share a handful of belief busters as well to help you get going. I want to talk about interrupting the pattern first. You know that pattern where salesperson starts, "Hey George, how are you today?" It's just so clearly a sales call. Sales guy on the phone, you don't want this call. "Hey George, how are you today?" It's so ingenuous. It's a trigger. The reflex that it triggers is the call being rejected by Mr. or Mrs. Prospect. No conversation. You know, pull it back a little bit. If step one is making your list and step two is getting your mindset right, picking up the phone, making the dial, then step three is to have the conversation. And we interrupt that pattern there between step two and step three to get us to the conversation. How do we interrupt that pattern? How do we go from pickup to conversation? Well, I've got three ideas for you. I think you've got to be either interesting, you've got to be provocative, or you've got to be funny. You've got to pick one of them. Let's do one by one. Let's do interesting. Here's what interesting might sound like. "Hey, George, Carlos here. Not sure you're the right guy to talk to. Can I take a second? Tell you why I've called, and maybe we can talk for a few minutes if you're the right guy." See what we did there? Interesting. What about provocative strategy? Remember, we're interrupting the pattern here. And let me tell you, I already know before I do it for you, there's going to be some people watching this that go, "Carlos, I'm never doing that." That's all right. Must be nice to have plenty of money to not even try it, but that's all right. Okay, so we'll go for provocative. "Hey, George, Carlos here. Does my name not ring a bell? I'm calling from Sandler. Does that help?" Wow, strike two. "Hey, I'm looking for the guy who takes care of ... Is that you?" And we're off. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Provocative. And then we can try maybe funny. So we've tried interesting, we've tried provocative. Let's try a little funny. "George, this is a cold call. Promise, I hate making them just as much as you hate getting them. Would you give me a minute just to get through it? My palms are sweating over here." Oh, wow, you're so kind. You see, let me tell you, people stay on the phone, not a few, a lot. You'll get around a 90+% conversation rate with that. So provocative, interesting, funny. Now you're in a conversation. So now you need your commercial. This you've got to fit to your own business, to your own style too. But there is a strict anatomy. This strict anatomy is, what do you do? What pains do you solve? Each one using an emotion word, then a hook, and then book. So let me do that for you. Start with what you do. "Hey, George, listen, I'm Carlos. I'm from Sandler. We train sales teams." So that's what you do. Next step, pains that you solve, problems you solve, each one using an emotion hook word. Let me show you what that sounds like for me. I'll go back to what I do. "Hey, George." That's kind of you, George. "I'm a sales trainer. I work with companies and their sales teams. Typically, they're frustrated with their team's ability to get referrals and leads. The business just needs fresh deals, and the leaders or the CEOs are usually frustrated about that. Sometimes it's the closing that's taking too long, and that's because they're calling too low and the sales leader is just sick and tired of telling them. And then other times it's just they're worried. They're worried because they're losing market share. So did you hear that? They were 3 pains. I dropped 3 pains with an emotion word. I used frustrated, I used sick and tired, and I used worried. Now I need a hook. Hey, George, any of that sound like your world? That's the hook. You could try, hey, George, any of that resonate with you? Now, once you got a yes, we want to just do a 1 minute of light pain discovery. Hey, which one caught your attention, George? Tell me a little about that. And then once George has told you a little, and I just mean a little, you go for the meeting. Book a meeting. This is not a sales call. It's a prospecting call. Don't get too deep. You book a meeting. Here's what that sounds like. George, you weren't expecting my call today, and I know I've got a ton to do. Is this important enough to book, I don't know, a 20-minute follow-up? Or is this important enough to, hey, I don't know, invite me over? I bet you've got your calendar on your phone. Book the appointment and then confirm it. George, can I ask you a blunt question? You sure this is a priority for you? I know you're overcommitted already. Are you going to cancel this on Tuesday morning? And that's it, guys. That's it. That's the anatomy. Break the pattern. We're in a conversation. Once we're in the conversation, it's what I do. 3 pains, who I work with, and their 3 pains. Hook. Any of that resonate with you, George? And book a meeting. It's gold. You do 60 of those a day, 60 dials a day. It's going to simply change your life. You know, I also know I've got to talk to you about gatekeepers. I've got to talk to you about voicemails, but really, I'm out of time here. If that's valuable, just let me know in the comments. I'll do another video on it. I've got some magic there. Getting past gatekeepers, getting to leaving voicemails, both magic. I did promise you some quick fire advice, so here it is. Number 1, best cure for a disastrous cold call is to hit dial 1 more time. Sometimes they're disastrous. Just redial, just dial again. If somebody else is stressed or frustrated, somebody else is upset, just don't take it from them. Don't take that off them. Don't let that become your frustration, your stress. Number 3, think of it like a workout. It's going to make you stronger. And let me tell you, you always feel better afterwards. 4, if you're worried, if you're frightened, the best way to get over it is to make more cold calls. It's amazing. It's like the African proverb. Best way to learn how to cut down trees is cutting down trees. If you sound stressed, they're going to feel stressed. If you sound worried, they're going to feel worried. If you sound frustrated, they're going to feel frustrated. So just relax into it and have a little fun. I promise you, people don't hate cold calls. What they hate is dealing with needy strangers. Those 2 things are not the same. Number 7, tonality is way more important than what you say. If you listen back to this video, you'll hear my tonality. It's not about the words, it's all about the tonality. Here's a big one for you, number 8. When they say to you, hey, can you just send me an email? Just understand what that is. They don't really want an email. You've just got to break that pattern. I have a client, Mark. I hope you're watching this, Mark. He does this brilliantly. Hey, can you send me an email all about it, Mark? Mark says, oh, absolutely. But hey, help me out. Tell me what to make the email about. Or Mark will say, hey, absolutely happy to send you an email. Hey, but tell me some of the things you're worrying about right now. Just push through. Number 9, if you're worrying about the best time to make the cold call, recognize it's simply an excuse to not make the cold call. Look at your watch right now. That's exactly the best time to make cold calls. And then finally, you call them and they're busy doing something else. Let me just set something straight here. If somebody answers their phone during a meeting, that's their problem, ain't your problem. There's one more I want to share with you. Remember, you're allowed to hang up on them too. You've got all the power here, guys. You've got all the power. So guys, if you want to see these techniques in action, crash one of our upcoming classes. We've got sales development sessions that happen, wow, most days. It'll be my gift to you, completely free, and you'll get actionable takeaways right away. Click the link in the description, save your spot. All right, guys, well, listen, thanks for watching. If these tips help you in your next cold call, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more sales strategies and insights. Until then, hey, let's get to work and I'll see you in the next video.